Welcome back, everyone. In this video we are going to take a look at some XML basics and what is required to be able to build product templates within the Infinity software. So first, we're going to take a look at a very industry type definition of what XML is, if you are not aware. So XML is a software and hardware independent tool for storing and transporting data. And that's essentially what we're going to do. We're going to store some data about our product templates. XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. It is a markup language much like HTML. It was designed to store and transport data, and it was designed to be self-descriptive. And that's very important. You're going to see how that comes true when we work with some of these templates. And it's also a W3C recommendation. So what do we need for using XML to build product templates? So here are some key points. First, it provides a standard structure across all of the different template types. It provides a standard format for defining elements and attributes, and it's a very repeatable pattern and uses across different template types. So there's really only three things to know when it comes to XML and building product templates. The three things you need to know are what are elements, what are attributes, what are values, and how do they all work together. So an element defines a specific section of an XML file. An element can contain attributes or it can contain other elements. An attribute describes some aspect of the element it belongs to. For example, a text element will have multiple attributes associated with it, one of them being color, for example. And value. Each attribute will have a value associated with it. In our previous example of a color attribute, a typical value would be black. Putting this all together, we may have a text stamps element which contains a text element along with its associated color attribute that has a value of black, as we can see here on the right. So basically we have the text stamps element and then the closing text stamps element. And then we have within that text stamps element a text element which has an attribute called color, and that color has a value of black. So that's really it. And there really is not much more to it than that when it comes to building product templates. So some common errors and different ways of troubleshooting when you're working with XML. First and foremost, the number one way for introducing errors into your XML documents is through copy and paste errors. There are a number of times where you will want to copy a block of text that you have built in one template to another, but you will inevitably leave off a closing tag, add a second closing tag in, copy more than what you meant to copy from. So many different ways that you can bring in either too little or too much back into your XML that you're pasting into that's going to cause problems. So there's a couple different ways that we can check for errors or find out what the error is when errors occur. Probably the easiest, which works most of the time, is to open the XML file within a web browser like Internet Explorer. If the XML file is malformed, then Internet Explorer will typically tell you exactly what line the error is on, so it will give you, a very close approximation of where the problem's at, so you can hopefully fix it. Another way of diagnosing XML issues is to copy the entire XML file contents and paste it into one of the many online validation tools that exist out there for validating the structure and the syntax and everything of XML. So, up next, we are going to start working with an XML file. We're going to take a chunk of code, not the whole thing, but we're going to take a piece of a product template and kind of work with that a bit to see some of this in practice. We'll call out some examples of the various XML components, we'll demonstrate some common errors, and then we'll also take a look at using an XML validation tool online to see how that can help us out through our product template development. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.